All right. Now we are learning the Chumash portion for today. Really, I already gave this class, but I forgot to record it. So I'm recording it now. Never too late. Never too late. Nishkain for fallen. What did we learn yesterday? We learned yesterday that Yaakov, he left a place called Beersheba because his brother Esav wanted to kill him. And the reason he wanted to kill him was because he tricked his father, Yitzchak, to giving him blessings that his father intended to give to Esav. So here we have Yaakov and Esav, two brothers. Esav wants to kill Yaakov because he lost the blessings that his father wanted to give to him. So Yaakov has the blessings, but he has to run away. So he runs away, and not only that, his mother says, go over there to my brother Lavan, and maybe you'll find yourself a wife over there. So, okay, so now Yaakov leaves his father and mother, running away from his brother Esav, and also his father said, go and find yourself a wife. So he went over there to find a wife. And he before he gets to the town, before he gets to this place called Haran, so he goes to sleep. Says the first time in 14 years he went to sleep. When he left home, so he went to learn Torah for 14 years. And the whole time he didn't sleep. And then he goes to sleep and he sees this ladder with angels on it. And it ends up that he gets all these blessings from God, and he wakes up. Well, God says, don't worry, I'm going to be with God. Is standing over these angels. He says, I'm going to bless you. And Yaakov wakes up and he says, if God just helps me and protects me and brings me back to this place, so I'll make this stone. He set up a bunch of stones to put his head on, and they all became one stone, will be the house of God. Okay, so he's got this agreement between him and God, and between God and him, and God says, I'm going to watch over you. And his father said, go and find yourself a wife over by any place except for here. Go by Lavan. And his mother said, go to Lavan, he'll protect you. So that's it. Yaakov is going, and he has all these blessings. So Yaakov, Vayisa Yaakov of Raglo, Yaakov lifts up his feet, and he went to Bnei Kedem. He goes to this land of Bnei Kedem. Oh, he didn't get to Haran yet. Didn't get to Haran. And Rashi says, what did he lift up his feet for? Because he got the good news that God was going to protect him. So his heart lifted up his feet, and it became easy to walk. There's other explanations also, which are so almost the opposite, but that's what Rashi says, and we're going to go according to that. So we came to this place called Bnei Kedem. Where's this Bnei Kedem? So he said, the Or HaChaim, Rev Chaim ben Atar, holy Rev ben Chaim ben Atar, he said it doesn't say that he went to Haran because he went to this place called Bnei Kedem before. The Bnei Kedem was like the country, and he didn't reach the city of Haran, but he went to the land. Why? Because this happened from God so that he would meet Rachel there before he went to this place called Haran. Haran was where Rachel's father, Lavan, well, Lavan happened to be also the brother of Rivka, Yaakov's mother. And so the whole thing is a big family affair over here. But his mother, Rivka, right, she was very righteous. She was very holy. And Rivka's brother, Lavan, that he's going to be the father of Rachel and Leah, he was really evil, really bad news. We'll see. And Yaakov sort of turns him around in the end, but that's going to take a while. So he said the reason that he came to this place, Bnei Kedem first, that was the general sort of area before he came to the city, was so that he would meet Rachel, and then he would have like the upper hand over Lavan. And so what happened? He looked and he saw that we didn't meet Rachel yet, and we're going to see how he meets her. He sees that there's a well in the field, and there are 3 flocks of sheep that are all, crouching over there, resting. And from this well, they were going to water these flocks. But the problem was there was a big stone, a huge stone on this well. All the the shepherds would come together and they would water them. Then we have the Ramban. The Ramban says that there's a big hint over here. There's a big mystery over here. And it's talking about this is the secret of what's going to happen to all the Jewish people. And namely that there's going to be a temple that's going to be built. The temple, this is represented by the well. So it says like this, it's telling you, so it tells you the power that God gave to Jacob. Jacob came on the road and he was very tired. And he came to this big, huge boulder, and that all the shepherds couldn't move it unless they all got together. And there were 3 huge flocks over there. So there was a lot of shepherds that were over there. And nevertheless, they couldn't move the rock until everybody came. And that's one thing. And all of a sudden, God gave Yaakov the power to lift it up. And there's another secret that's what's going to be in the happen, because what's going to happen in the future. This well, not all of the flocks were gathered, only 3 of them. And then when this happened, when the big rock was on top of this boulder was on top. And so all these sheep and everyone, they had guards and shepherds over them. And it's coming to tell you like this, that this well hints at the 3rd temple. And the 3 flocks are talking about the 3 holidays that the Jews go up. And they draw Holy Spirit from these rocks, from the Holy Temple, 3 temple. And there's another hint that from Zion, from Israel, will come out Torah. The well is like Israel, and the water in the well is the Torah. Torah is compared to water. And that's what it says, that the word of God will come from Jerusalem, namely that everyone in the world will come to Jerusalem, and they'll all draw water, and they'll draw Holy Spirit from Jerusalem for the waters in Jerusalem. Okay, so all of the flocks, they all gathered over there, and we're going to roll this big boulder off, and everyone's going to drink. That's what they're telling Yaakov. And then we'll put the wall, and we'll put this rock back in its place. It says, that's what he says. Rashi says, that our custom is that everyone's going to get, because this boulder is just too big, and then we'll roll it off, and we'll put it all back again. So Yaakov said, listen, everybody's waiting here. Do me a favor. Tell me, where are you from? And they said, oh, we come from Haran. And Yaakov said, wow, that's exactly the place I'm going to. Do you happen to know Lavan, the son of Nahor? He wasn't really the son of Nahor. He was the grandson of Nahor. He was the son of Bethuel, and Bethuel was the son of Nahor, was the brother of Abraham. And they said, yeah, we know him. We know who he is. So he said, tell me, how is he doing, Lavan? And they said, he's all right. He's okay. Shalom. And hey, you know what? Here's his daughter. She's coming with her flock. Her flock. And so he says she's coming means that she's, Rashi has this grammatical thing. He says if it says ba'ah, then it means that she already came. And if it says ba'ah, means she's coming right now. Okay. So and Yaakov says, well, that's nice, but tell me something. Yaakov says to everybody, it's in the middle of the day. This is not the time for the flocks to come over here and drink. Go in and graze your flocks. What are you doing? Go and graze the flocks. He's saying, because he saw them all crouching down, all the sheep. So he thought that they were making the end of the day. So he said to them, listen, this doesn't make any sense. If you are hired workers, so you haven't finished your work, you're cheating the owner. And if you people happen to be the owners, these sheep are yours, then nevertheless, this is not the time to make the sheep lay down. This is not the time. You should go. The Or HaChaim says, what all of a sudden, why is Yaakov sticking his nose into this and telling everybody, hey, you're not supposed to graze, you're not supposed to let the sheep rest now or give them to drink? This is why, because Yaakov felt that they were giving pain to the animals. Now, this is connected to the 7 Noahide commandments. And it's connected tangentially, but it is nevertheless connected. So he was worried about the sheep. Also, he wanted to know, why are they there? What's the reason? What's going on? He says the city is far away. And why are they? So he said that's why it is because the city is very far away. And because it's far away, it's going to be a long time until we graze the sheep and come back. So we're giving them to drink now a little bit early. Anyway, they said, listen, we want to graze the sheep, but we're waiting here until everybody comes to, we want to agree, right? But we can't graze them until they drink first. And we're waiting for everyone, all the shepherds to come together. Who knows how many there are, 100, 200. And they'll roll this boulder from the well. And then we can give the sheep to drink. They're still talking. All of a sudden, Rachel came with her flocks that belonged to her father because she was a shepherd. She was a shepherd, says the Ramban. And this is to tell him that the sheep of Lavan didn't have any other shepherds except for this little girl, Rachel. And she was, well, one second, she had a sister. Rachel had an older sister called Leah. Why didn't Leah come? So he said, well, we see that by Yitro, we're going to see this later on, that Moses also met his wife by one of Yitro's daughters. Yitro made all of his daughters into shepherds. She had 7 daughters. Why didn't Lavan do the same thing? So he said, well, I got a couple of reasons. Says the Ramban, maybe because it says that the eyes of Leah were very weak. And we're going to say they were weak because she was crying, because she was worried that maybe Esav, Yaakov's evil brother, would be forced on her to marry her, and she was crying. So and the sun would hurt her eyes. Also, there's another reason that Leah, she was older, so it could be that maybe the other shepherds would try to misuse her. But Yitro, he was a very honorable person, so nobody would try a thing like that on his daughters. And Lavan was not as great as Yitro was. Yitro was like the priest of idolatry, it says. Another reason was that Lavan, the father, even though he himself was a cheater and a liar, but he did something from Abraham rubbed off on him. And because he was from the family of Abraham, so he had a certain sense of modesty and a little embarrassment, healthy embarrassment. So he didn't want to send his older daughter there because he was afraid that maybe something bad would happen with the other shepherds. So he sent his younger daughter, and she was too young. Nobody would think of doing anything physical to her. And that what we see later on, that Yaakov kissed her. It says, Vayishak Yaakov l'Rachel. It says he kissed to her. It means that he kissed her with a lamed. It means not on her mouth, but he kissed her like on her head or on her shoulder or something like that. So she was young. That's why he didn't send her. Well, when Yaakov saw Rachel, the daughter of Lavan, the brother of his mother, Lavan was the brother of Yaakov's mother, right? Rivka and Lavan were brother and sister. And Lavan was the father of Rachel. When he saw Rachel, who was the daughter of Lavan, who was his mother's brother, and the sheep, which belonged to Lavan, who was his mother's brother, and Yaakov went and he pulled the stone, lifted the stone from on the well. He did it alone. And he watered the sheep of Lavan, who was the brother of his mother. What does he have to repeat it 3 times for? Why? So Rashi doesn't even deal with that. Rashi just says that he pulled this rock off, this boulder, like a person takes a cork out of a bottle, because all of a sudden he was tremendously powerful. Maybe all of a sudden, and maybe not, because he doesn't say that it was a miracle. It just shows you that he maybe was always strong. But it seems that the Or HaChaim says that it was a miracle that happened. I'm sorry, the Ramban. The Ramban said that there was a miracle that occurred. Why does it say 3 times that the sheep belonged to the brother of his mother, and that Rachel, she was the daughter of the brother of his mother? Why does it have to say 3 times? It says it doesn't seem to be necessary. It's coming to tell you that this is the Or HaChaim. Shekol Masav, that everything that Yaakov did was only because he was going to the brother of his mother, and everything he did was just to the honor of his mother. Or there's another reason. Maybe we can say that all of these shepherds saw this strange man coming here from nowhere, and all of a sudden he's talking about Rachel and he kisses her on the head. We'll see. It says, what does it say? Here you see, Vayishak Yaakov l'Rachel, and Yaakov kissed to Rachel, and he cried. We'll see why he cries. But anyway, everybody sees that he's all interested in this little girl, Rachel. According to some opinions, she was like 3 years old. So he saw that there was a strange person. So therefore, he told everybody, the reason I'm coming here, and the reason I'm interested in the sheep of Rachel, and the reason I'm interested in Rachel is because she is the daughter of my uncle, my mother's brother. The only reason I'm coming here is because my mother sent me. The sheep belong to Lavan. He's the brother of my mother. And therefore, he mentioned that to let everybody know, and also the Torah tells us that his whole motivation was just to do what his mother said. Yaakov kissed Rachel, and he lifted up his voice and he cried. Why did he cry? Because he saw that he wasn't going to be buried together with her. Rachel is buried in Beit Lechem, and Yaakov is buried together with Leah in Marat HaMachpelah. Another reason he cried was because he was empty-handed. When Eliezer was sent by Abraham to find a bride for Yitzchak, so he said he came over there was Betuel also over there with Lavan, and that he had a lot of money with him. He had also money and golden rings and bracelets, and he had a document that said that all the money of Abraham belonged to him. And Yaakov came empty-handed. Why? Why did he come empty-handed? So because he went with a lot of money. But Eliphaz, the son of Esav sent his son Eliphaz, and he said, I want you to look around, find Yaakov, my brother, and kill him. Kill him. So Yaakov hid away in the place of learning and he learned Torah nonstop 14 years. And all this time, Eliphaz is looking around for hints, putting up pictures. Have you seen this man? Who knows what? And he finally found him, and he caught up to him. And now Eliphaz is supposed to kill him. But the problem is that Eliphaz was brought up by Yitzchak, by Yaakov's father. It was also Esau's father, right? In other words, his grandfather. Eliphaz was brought up by his own grandfather. Eliphaz was the son of Esau, and Esau was one of the two sons of Yitzchak. But his father, Esau, was busy running around raping women and killing people, stealing and robbing. So he didn't have time to raise his son. So who raised him? Yitzchak. So now he said, listen, I can't kill Yaakov. He's the son of Yitzchak. It's going to break Yitzchak's heart. I can't do that. So he took his hand away. But on the other hand, he said, listen, I have to honor my father. What am I going to do? So Yaakov said, I'll tell you what to do. Take all of my money. Take everything I've got. And a poor person is considered to be dead. And in that way, you sort of filled the promise you made to your father. So Yaakov told Rachel that he was the brother, in other words, the family of her father, and that he was the son of Rivka. And she ran and she told this to her father. And when Lavan was her father, when Lavan heard this, so he ran to meet him, and he hugged him and he kissed him, and he brought him into his house. And Lavan and Yaakov told Lavan everything that happened, how we went into the well and how we ruled it. What's he hugging him and kissing him for? What's going on? He said, why did he run to meet him? Because he thought that he probably had a lot of money. He knew, Lavan knew, he had met already Eliezer. And Eliezer had a lot of money. The servant had a lot of money. So he had camels and everything. So he figured he must have money. He's coming to get married. You come to get married, you have a lot of money with you. And it runs in the family. They have money when they go to get married. So, but he looked at it, he didn't see anything. He ran to meet him, didn't see anything. So he hugged him. Why did he hug him? When he didn't see there was anything, Omar, he said, maybe he brought a lot of money and he's got like a money belt or something. So he hugged him. And then after when he hugged him, he didn't feel any money, frisked him. Said, Omar said, maybe he brought some diamonds and he put them in his mouth. That's pretty disgusting already. But anyway, what do you want? What is a person willing to do for money? So didn't find anything in his mouth either. So he said that the only reason he came was because my brother is forcing me to come here. And my brother also took all of my money from me. That's the only reason why. So don't think that I'm poor, because in fact I'm not. Lavan said, you're my flesh, my blood, my bones, right? Stay with me for a month. Stay with me for a month. And then Lavan said to Yaakov, again, you're my brother. I want you to work for me and I'm willing to pay you. Tell me, what do you want? How much money do you want? So Lavan had two daughters. The name of the big one, the older one, was Leah, and the younger one was Rachel. And we're going to do this tomorrow, the commentary, God willing. It says the eyes of Leah were weak, and Rachel was beautiful in form and beautiful in appearance. So Yaakov is going to say, hey, listen, I came here to get married. I want Rachel. And Lavan will say, okay, no problem, no problem whatsoever. Work 7 years, I'll give it you Rachel. And he tricks him. He doesn't give him Rachel. We'll see. Why were her eyes weak? That she thought that she was going to be forced into marrying Esau. Everyone was saying that Rivka has two sons, Esau and Yaakov. And Lavan has two daughters. And their brother and sister, they can marry. The older brother will marry the older sister, and the younger brother will marry the younger sister. Who is the older brother? Esau. Who was the older sister? Leah. So she was crying all the time because she didn't want to fall into the hands of Esau. It says that she was beautiful in form, maybe it says that the form of her face, the appearance of her face was beautiful, and also that she had a beautiful, how do you say, ambience to her, cluster panim, maziv, their face shine. And Yaakov said, but Yaakov loved Rachel, and he said, I'm willing to work for Rachel 7 years for your younger daughter. And we're going to talk about this more, God willing, tomorrow. Have a good day with Mashiach now. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, God willing.